Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello, hi, and namaste. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This video is in continuation to part 1 of cracking LinkedIn to crack your dream job or land your dream job. So make sure you watch the part 1 in order to understand part 2. And in that part, we had covered 1 to 5 steps that you can take to optimize your LinkedIn profile so that you are in front of the recruiter or the founder that you're trying to pitch. And now this video will have steps 6 to 10, and there's a bonus step at the end, so make sure you watch this video till the end for maximum benefits. And now let's get started. The sixth step for optimizing your LinkedIn profile and landing your dream job via it is optimizing your experience section. A lot of times people just enter the company that they have worked for and their profile, but that's not enough. You need to tell the recruiter or person landing on your profile about what have you learned in that job, what did you crack, what were your achievements, what were your learnings, what are the other softwares that you learned, what XYZ things that you can highlight that can make you the perfect fit for the next job description that you are aiming for. So make sure when you're optimizing your experience section, it not just has the company name and your profile or your job title, but also everything that you've learned in that job role. Now, if you're a student watching this, you might ask, see, I don't have an experience working with a company. What should I do? Well, in that case, all you have to do is whatever internships you've done, whatever college projects you've done comes under your experience section. So if you've done any internship, just define that internship, right? So that the recruiter understands your base, your whatever you've done in the past, right? So that is how you optimize your experience section. Now we move on to the next section, which is education section. And that's also a part of our steps, which is the 7th step. Now in your education section, a lot of people again just write class 10th and 11th and 12th from this school with these many percentage marks stuff. Don't do that. Always mention whatever you have achieved in your schooling years. It can be becoming the head boy or head girl. It can be winning some award in accountancy or any other subject, being a topper, holding first, second, or third rank in a competition. All these things show your thought leadership. They show that you're confident, your public speaking skills, communication skills, and so many more things that a recruiter might be looking for. For example, when I was applying for my last job, they also checked if I was confident in front of the camera. That also counts as an advantage for the company. So make sure whatever you think can be of benefit for the company, you mention it, be it in your experience section or in your education section, right? That gets me to point number 8, that is adding your skills and endorsements. A lot of times you have so many hidden talent skills that do not come out in your profile. For this, the skills section is a perfect place. Whatever skills you think you possess and you have a hold of, you can add all those skills, but make sure that you put them in the priority list, because 3 to 5 skills are visible on the screen when somebody is scrolling through your profile. So the first 3 to 5 skills that you highlight should be your priority skills. So if I'm a marketer, I'll not put public speaker as the first skill. I would rather put social media marketing or marketing as my first skill, so that it shows upfront to somebody who's scrolling through my profile. So you can add your skills and endorsements like this, and people who have worked with you in any capacity can endorse you here by clicking on the plus sign that you can see on the screen, right? So make sure you get a lot of these skill endorsements so that somebody, when they come to your profile, it just feels that you are a credible person for that particular skill. Now that's the first benefit of this section. The second benefit of this section is to get ranked for that particular skill. So if I write marketing as my skill, a lot of times somebody, he or she is searching for marketing, my profile ranks. Why? Because the word marketing has been used multiple times in my profile. So make sure you add skills and endorsement based on the keywords also that people are searching for. So if you are a chartered accountant, make sure you add words related to chartered accountancy that are being searched for by your recruiter, right? So that's the thing that you have to have in your LinkedIn profile, and that's your skill set, so that it's easily understandable what you can be hired for. Now the next step is Or the ninth step is that there's this section called recommendations. Now, you should get recommendations from credible personalities on LinkedIn. Now, who can be a credible personality for a student? Mentors, teachers, professors, or anybody that you've interned under, right? So all these people can give you recommendations, but make sure you do not get recommendations from your friends or your family, because then that won't hold the credibility. You should always get recommended from people who you have actually worked for or you've contributed to in some or the other way. So that's your recommendation section. Now we move on to the last step, which is the 10th step, and that is the search bar. A lot of times, optimizing your profile for search is not enough. You also have to reach your target audience. Don't wait for the opportunities to come to you. You also can go to them. For that, the search bar comes to your rescue. All you have to do is go to the search bar, apply all the filters, and find the audience that you want to target. For me, personally, I specialize in health, SaaS, technology kinds of companies, wherein I help founders to make their personal brand on LinkedIn, Twitter, and other platforms. Plus, also help companies to get leads, right? Or form their email marketing funnel, right? Now, for all this, who would I target? All the SaaS founders, all the healthcare founders. So what I'll do is I'll go to the search bar and I'll find CEOs of healthcare companies, CEOs of SaaS companies, and then connect with them. You have to do the same. If you are a chartered accountant watching this and you want to work with a certain firm, go and interact with the founder. Find him or her in the search bar and then connect with them. Have that first degree of connection, conversation with them, so that whenever they are looking for somebody like you, they get back to you, right? So always softly pitch in that you're looking for a job, and you'll be grateful if they can give you their email ID, right? So the 10th step is clearly understanding how to use the search bar of LinkedIn. So all you have to do is search for the companies that, if you want to work with Unacademy, go for it. You want to work with Cred, go for it. Kunal Shah or any other founder is just a few clicks away. So make that effort. The people you want to work with, the companies you want to work with, try and connect with them and send them a soft pitch saying that, hey, I'm interested to work with you. But make it, of course, very compelling. Don't say I want to apply for this position in your company. Let me know when it's available. No, you have to be soft. You have to tell why you're passionate about that company. Why do you want to work with them? So use the search bar and send the founder you want to work with a nice, sweet, soft pitch or message so that they consider your candidature. So these were all the 10 steps that we had promised. And now here's the bonus tip. Whenever you're going through somebody's LinkedIn profile, you can also find their email ID most of the times. So when you find somebody's email ID, make sure you not just send them a message on LinkedIn, but also email them. This way you get 2 touch points, right? One is messages and one is email. So in a clutter of candidates and in a lot of candidatures, CVs coming to the HR or the founder, it's easier for them to remember you because you had 2 touch points with them. So make sure whenever you're messaging somebody, you also email them if their email ID is available. But make sure you drop a message, hey, found your email ID on LinkedIn. I love what your company is doing. So I'm dropping my CV in your inbox. Inform them so that it's not a breach of their privacy or anything that you just copied their email ID and sent them an email. So make sure you message them and you also email them. That way, A, you'll have 2 touch points, and B, your chances of getting selected for an interview increases. So that's all for the second part. When you combine both part 1 of this video and part 2 of this video, you will have enough knowledge about ranking on LinkedIn and then getting your dream job. Make sure you follow all these steps because these are non-negotiables. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, all the best for your job hunt.